Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who catches his girlfriend cheating on him at a party she said she wasn't going to. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. Don't judge a book by its cover, and don't leave your important web pages open. So, last semester, I met this girl I thought was super sweet and cute. I'm talking big glasses, book in hand, ideal introvert girl. We talked for a while and eventually ended up dating. I'm gonna keep both our names out of this as well as our university since I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but I figured I would tell this story anyway because it's educational and also funny. Long story short, we're both freshmen at our university and both relying on student loans. She lives on campus and I have an apartment nearby that's affiliated with our school. This part is important, I promise. We started having problems around the time she joined a sorority. At first it was no big deal. She would be late sometimes to meet up, flake on me occasionally, and just be unreliable at times. I just thought whatever, she needs some time to adjust to college life and manage her schedule. Whatever, right? Well, it wasn't whatever. I learned from my friend about this party that would be going down before the start of the next semester, and I asked her if she was busy that day, but I didn't directly mention the party. She told me she was, that she had some work to finish or something or other. She told me she just had to stay in that night. I said okay, we'd meet up another day. I also noticed that she left her laptop at my place earlier that day, and I figured I'd bring it to her tomorrow. My friends and I pre-game before going, and we end up getting some car trouble which makes us pretty late. We go in and start to mingle and drink. My friend walks into a bedroom to use the bathroom, looks in, and goes stark white. He comes up to me and tells me that he saw my girl sleeping with another guy in one of the rooms. I didn't believe him, so I went in and who did I find? It was her. At this party, she told me she was going to be too busy to attend. Well, all right, I say. Very calmly, I head back to my car and drive back to my place. I went into the room to see if she had left her laptop open. She did. I then checked to see if it had been long enough since she logged into her student account to need a password. It had not. So I was able to log into her student account, go into her student schedule, and manually drop all of the courses she had signed up for. This in turn would also not grant her the student aid funds she would normally be receiving to pay for her housing, as she needed a minimum amount of hours in order to receive student aid. I happen to know that the school's automated system does not email you or otherwise notify you of these things beyond generic emails that everyone gets, so she had no way of knowing this happened to her. So a day goes by, I delete the history of all my handiwork and drop off her laptop. I told her I saw her cheating at the party and I never wanted to talk to her again. She tried to argue with me about it, but I didn't give a shit by that point. I walked off and left her. She didn't find out that she wasn't getting student aid until it was time to pay for her housing and she couldn't do it. I'm told by my friend who lived near her she had her parents come by and pack things up. So I guess she had to move out entirely. Sucks for her. Your revenge on your ex was a bit extreme, and I doubt she realizes you messed with her school courses. So there's really no way she could have any reflection from this. I'm sorry she cheated on you. Now you've learned not to judge a book by its cover. Just because she looks nerdy doesn't mean she will be faithful. Hopefully you've learned from experience. I hope you have better luck in your next relationship. Story 2. Made a throwaway account for this one. Quick backstory. My wife, 38, and I, 32, have 2 kids together, and she has 4 kids from other relationships, 2 of which have moved out of home. I love her kids like my own and will do anything to provide a happy family for them. Before we met, I had my idea of the perfect bachelor life, but happily gave it up for her and her kids. So tonight, my wife went out to meet some friends and I was a bit suspicious. So I jumped on her Facebook and read a rather steamy conversation between her and a guy I'll call Luke since that's his name. Anyway, he had given her a fairly descriptive description of what he was going to do to her when she arrived at his house. I gave her a call and confronted her about it, to which she lied deluxe about it until I told her about the messages. I pretty much told her how I'm still crazy about her, but if she meets him, then we're done. I told her to come back home and we can talk through everything. She came back home after I called her, but she said she came back because of the kids. We talked for as long as we could about it. She said it was basically due to her being a mother since she was 18 or so, and she's tired of the rut of the kids, even though they're the most important things to her. So I don't know where that leaves me. My wife would have cheated on me, said she came back because of the kids, not me. If we didn't have kids, I would go straight for a divorce without even talking about the situation. But I can't just walk out on the boys. I don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken and don't even have anybody to talk to about it. I love my wife and family. They're everything to me. But she was going to throw it away when it wasn't even something I did. I don't know what to do. Advice or anything would be great. Sorry if this didn't make much sense. I've had a few drinks. OP, she had every opportunity to come to you and tell you how she was feeling. Instead, she decided to run the very real risk and likelihood of throwing it all away. Although she didn't physically cheat, she definitely was going to. And definitely emotionally cheated. Go to marriage counseling immediately, and of course she can never have contact with that guy again. Personally, I don't know if I would try to reconcile, and don't bring the kids into it. They're much better off in the long run with happy parents that aren't together versus miserable parents putting on a show for the kids. Now for some comments. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Children model their relationships after what they see at home. If you can honestly fix it and return to a loving marriage, that's great. If you're stuck in love, stay together for the kids, but resent each other's situation. They will see that. They will see that their parents never hug and kiss and are not affectionate to each other, and that will be their base model for a relationship. It's better to show the kids that you can split up and co-parent effectively, while finding a partner who brings you happiness as well. That's a tough one. It's good you caught her, but also messed up that she not only couldn't talk to you about what she was feeling, but the fact that you didn't even register a reason for her to come back. Granted, risking cheating isn't really a way to show that your kids are the most important thing to you, but I digress. Best I can say is you guys gotta look into couples therapy. Hopefully find a way to work together. You guys may be able to bounce back from this, but she's gonna have to rebuild a ton of trust as well as vocalize what she wants, rather than running around behind your back. It'll take time, a ton of work by both of you, but you might be able to mend your relationship and make it more than a stay together for the kids situation. I don't know for how long you've been out of the playfield, but steamy conversations don't just pop randomly. And when specific details are given, it's likely that at least something has been done. Furthermore, the mere fact that you felt the impulse to check her online accounts is a huge red flag of where things are going. You can give couples therapy a shot, and hopefully it'll work out for the best. But personally, I think you should go for a peaceful, amicable divorce. Both of you talking to your kids together, explaining to them that the problem is yours, not theirs. And afterwards, just be there for the kids the best that you can. Sorry, OP, but you're still young and you may still lead a long life in a likely more healthy relationship than this one without giving up on your kids. Story 3. First post and looking for advice, I suppose. Wife 29 and I 32 have been married for almost 10 years now. And we have 2 daughters. Me and my daughters have been staying at my mom's while this has been going on. She's been in and out of mental hospitals since November for suicidal thoughts. She now has a diagnosis of bipolar anxiety disorder. While in the hospital in November, during a visitation session, she told me she thought she might be gay. She told me again about 3 weeks later while at visitation that she is gay. I think I told her we would talk about it after she got out and was better off mentally, and leveled out on her medication. 2 days or so later, she called me asking if I had made a decision. I said, a decision about what? And she responded, on if I could have a girlfriend. I told her I wasn't ready for that, and she immediately hung up. Now, back 2 years ago, she mentioned to me she might be bi. I told her that didn't bother me, but to never act on it. She agreed, and that was the end of it, I thought. She gets released and has to go back multiple times from suicidal thoughts and voices. The most recent was at the end of January. I picked her up on a Friday, and she was happy. It was my wife again. She was telling jokes, genuinely happy. Saturday, we got up, had breakfast, and went to pick up her meds. Then we went home to rest. Later, we grabbed some lunch, and she said she was getting tired and wanted to come home and rest again. Still happy this whole time. Then we came home, laid down, but she was restless, and after half an hour or so, asked if she could go for a drive and get some fresh air. She seemed happy, and I thought it would do her good. She left, and I fell asleep for a nap. After waking up, I tried to call her, but she didn't answer. I tried again 3 more times every 20 minutes or so, then I started to worry and went looking for her. I checked a few places I thought she might be. Hospital parking lot, mental health hospital parking lot, where her friend works. I didn't see the car anywhere. I finally got a call from her from the ER. She had wrecked the car and was being treated at the hospital. I rushed over to the ER. I asked her what happened and she said that she was gay and she was going to see her girlfriend, and that the voices told her to crash the car. I asked why she didn't answer her phone. She said she stopped and threw it in the river. I asked her what I was supposed to tell the kids and she said she didn't care and that she didn't want them anymore and that I could have them. Said I couldn't talk to her anymore and left the room. Her sister met me a little later at the ER and she told her the same thing. She was taken back to the mental hospital on an emergency detainment where she couldn't leave for 48 hours. She was there for a week. I spoke to her on the phone before she got out and said that house, but she couldn't keep the girls until she got her medicine figured out. She wrote back saying that she was going to stay at a friend's house to rest. I found out that she had a girlfriend that she met in the mental hospital. I also found her journal she had in the hospital with love letters and poems to this woman. The part that hurt me the most was the police report. She told the officer that she was gay and wanted out of her marriage and that's why she crashed the car. When I asked her about this later, she said she didn't remember it, and the doctors told her it was psychosis. This Thursday, she called her sister and got her to pick her up from her friend's house and brought her home. She said she knows she messed up. She says she's not gay anymore and that she broke up with her girlfriend. I told her that she's destroyed the life we had and that while I care about her, I'm no longer in love with her. I asked her what she wanted, and she said she wanted to love me like I should be loved. She wants to fix it. I said, you cheated both emotionally and physically. You destroyed my trust, and you've thrown away almost 10 years in a 2-week span. Right now, you can stay here at the house, but we are currently separated. I don't think I want to fix it. I feel dirty looking at her and thinking about it. She cheated both emotionally and physically. I don't know what to do. I want her to get better and be happy, but I'm tired of it all. Feels like I'm on a yo-yo, and I'm not in control. I have to do what's best for the girls and myself. Maybe it's better off without her for now. Now for some comments. Man, she is clearly sick. That doesn't count as cheating. You have no reason to feel like she cheated. If my girlfriend was sick and gangbanged with 50 men because of her illness, then I wouldn't feel like I've been cheated. If you want to get rid of her because she's sick, then find another excuse. Don't be unfair. This is so sad. Your wife is very ill mentally, and I agree with several of the other posters that her cheating on you is probably the least of her and your problems. However, that doesn't mean that you don't have the right to be hurt by her actions, because you do. I would be hurt as well. I do think you should consider that as ill as she is, remaining in this relationship will continue to throw emotional curveballs at you. I agree 100% that what would be best for your children would be no contact with their mother unless she's completely able to regulate herself. I'm talking more than 1 year of model behavior and consistent medication. Dude, your wife is really sick. Her having a girlfriend should be the least of your concern. She tried to effing crash a car because the voices told her to. Do you think she was in any sound mental state to truly know what she was doing or care? I'm not saying you should stay with her or not be hurt. However, I don't think you can reasonably direct your anger at her. It's very clear she needs a lot of help. However, you're treating this like any other case of cheating, which it simply isn't. I'm not sure you realize how truly sick she is. She doesn't sound stable at all. I would suggest keeping your daughters away from her from now on. Also, can you see a therapist of your own? You might be able to gain a better understanding of what's going on with your wife and what the best course of action is.